Welcome back to Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal beaten Sheffield United 5-0, and that was excellent. I think a 10 out of 10 performance from every department. Eddie Nketiah was absolutely on fire, getting his first hat-trick of the Premier League ever in his spell as an Arsenal player. But of course, I thought we were absolutely very, very good. Sheffield United on the other side, you can't really say they were the best opponent. They're not the best opponent for you to go. We have absolutely thumped them, but you can only beat what is in front of you. And I thought that's what Arsenal did. I loved the performance. I really, really did. Let me know in the comment box below who was your man of the match. I'm just going to go with Eddie Nketiah. If you disagree with Eddie, let me know in the comment box below if it's not Eddie for you. Because for me, the touch for the first goal, the second goal, the reaction, and the third goal, purely magnificent. But of course, if you don't agree with me with Eddie being your man of the match, talk to me in the comment box below who's your man of the match and why is it not Eddie Nketiah? Because for one time on this channel, I've got to admit Eddie was superb, Eddie was good, and in this game he has actually stepped up on another occasion where he had to step up. Gabriel Jesus picks up an injury after a very fantastic performance in midweek in Sevilla, and Eddie says, no worries, I'm going to score a hat-trick after Gabriel Jesus had a very, very bad injury. So I thought Eddie was fantastic. I thought he was good. And I've actually just given him my man of the match. Of course, you can vote for man of the match in the comment box below as well. So listen, guys, I think the key takeaway in this game is efficiency. The key takeaway and the key point that Mikel Arteta, Arsenal, and all the team will actually have to look back on is efficiency. Arsenal have had 8 shots on goal, on target in this game, and 5 of them have actually hit the back of the net. 8 on target, 5 have hit the back of the net. Efficiency. When you create those chances, when you get those goal scoring opportunities, can you actually be efficient enough? Can you actually convert them? The self-efficacy, we have actually complained about this thing for a very long time. It has actually come about. It's actually come around. I don't remember so many chances in this game that you go, oh, Arsenal should have scored that one. The Eddie Nketiah goal, the first one, I think that is a moment of magic, a moment of beauty. He actually converts it very well. The second one, as a striker, you ought to be there. You ought to be in that goal-scoring position. And you've got to have the ability and quality to finish off when it falls your way. I think Eddie did very well. The third one, what can we say? It's a shot on goal, it's a shot on target, but he's got no right to score from that area. He's got no right to score from that distance. He hits it absolutely very well. Fabio Vieira with the penalty, I thought it was cool, it was calm, and of course to seal it off was Tomiyasu. So we were very efficient, and again, we've talked about Arsenal not winning games where we've actually not played very well. But we'll also have to talk about Arsenal winning games where we've been absolutely fantastic. And in this game, we were typically fantastic. We were actually very, very good. So you've got to win games where you're comfortable. You've got to win games where everyone says Arsenal will win by 3, by 4. You've got to go in those games confidently, pick up points. They're always easy points against Luton, Sheffield, Burnley. Those are easy points, right? Maybe Wolverhampton Wanderers as well. Those are easy points. You've got to go there, play well. The manager shuffled, the team a little bit to allow a few players to come in, a few characters to come in, and we'll talk about that later because again, that was genius of Mikel Arteta, and it was very, very important. But what Mikel will be happier about is he has created an efficient system, an efficient machine that you can easily replace 1 or 2 players with a new bunch, and they actually do well. I thought Kivio was absolutely fantastic. I thought Emile Smith-Rowe, not really fantastic in my opinion, but he actually rode through, right? I don't think there was a deficiency in the team, courtesy of Emile Smith-Rowe being in the midfield. So that is what we've actually done, and that is what we learned from this game for me. Efficiency. Arsenal, absolutely quality, absolute levels above Sheffield United. Now, there is something that we have seen that we have actually not done in a while. And I think Mikel Arteta, again, is going to go back to the drawing board and look at games like this, and then he will understand why it is important. Arsenal led this game by a 1-0, right, at halftime. And that was in the 28th minute. However, when that goal comes in, when that goal arrives, it's a different game. We controlled the game much better. It was more like we had killed the hopes of Sheffield United there and then. We had told them, we had written a statement, and we had sent a statement to them right in the fixture that this is far away from you. They had an 11% chance to win this game. Like 11%, that is very low. Like that is very, very low. And what Arsenal did is we scored in the 28th minute, and the game sort of ran away from them a little bit, even when it was just a goal to nil. So what I want us to see in more games, and what I want us to see in upcoming fixtures, is Arsenal scoring early and Arsenal being comfortable in games, winning games by maybe 2 goals to nil at half time, 1 goal to nil at half time, 3 goals to nil at half time, because that could have happened today, right? And I loved it. We led at half time. We were much better. We looked a much better side. In the second half, it was all about us. Sheffield United were in between two thoughts. Do we attack and find an equalizer, or do we actually sit back, wait for this Arsenal pressure to cool down, and maybe we can actually find an equalizer later when the game is a little bit dull? It was never dull. It was never calm. They have been under pressure for almost 50 minutes, actually 55 minutes of the second half. And all they did was to collect the ball from the back of the net and kind of try to stop Arsenal, which they actually did a very bad job at, right? A very, very bad job at. So again, you've got to love the fact that we've won a game at half time. You've got to love the fact that we've won a game, comfortably. Again, it is only Sheffield United. There is not a lot you can dig through in that performance, but winning a game at half time is something Arsenal doesn't do. We didn't do it against Tottenham. We didn't do it against Chelsea. We didn't do it against Manchester City. And we certainly didn't do it against Crystal Palace. And that means that whenever Arsenal have played this season, you don't guarantee that they will lead at half time. And whenever we've not led at half time, it has been difficult for us to squeeze results. Even at Manchester United, we didn't win at half time. So if this could be the start of a new trend, the start of a new track of results, right? Can we start creating more chances like we've seen today? Can we start scoring more goals like we've seen today? Can we start playing that kind of cohesive, beautiful system that we have seen today? I loved it. I purely loved it. Now, the manager made a couple of changes, and I know when you looked at the lineup, you were not as happy as well. I wasn't really happy when the manager, left out Martin Odegaard, Gabriel, and a couple of other players, but I was confident because it is only Sheffield, and they had just conceded 8 goals against Newcastle at the St. James. So I thought Arsenal were going to score around 2 or 3 in this game, and I was actually blown away when Arsenal scored 5. But what I liked about the rotation from Mikel, it is very proactive. It is very, very proactive. Martin Odegaard, according to the manager, has a small knock, and that's why he was uncomfortable, and therefore he decided to leave him out of this game. So that is qualified. I think Jorginho deserved some time to rest. He's one of those players that are older, so you cannot play him every game. And we will need him when we play Sevilla at the Emirates Stadium this coming week, right? Then Gabriel Magalhaes, you've got to rotate him. He's one of those players that have simply played every single game for Brazil, for wherever. So you've got to rotate him, right? You've got to rotate him. He's one of your best players. And also Kivio needs some game time. I mean, you don't want to bring these players into the team when you need them and they're rusty. So Kivio had a very good game, and I thought it was very, very intelligent of Mikel Arteta to do that. What he has done, Emil Smith-Rowe, game time. Kai Havertz back in the starting lineup, getting game time. Eddie back in the starting lineup, playing 90 minutes. It shows you that you can easily rotate a few players, change a few, make a few changes, and then you can still win a game. And that is what we have seen today. I've already said this. We are rich in terms of squad depth now. Last season, yeah, debatable. But this season, with the arrival of Declan Rice, Jurgen Timber, Kai Havertz, David Raya, we are rich in terms of squad depth. We have around 5 quality players that can come on and change the game. For example, today, if it didn't go our way, Odegaard could come on and change the game. Fabio Vieira did come on influenced the game, won a penalty, and converted it. Right? I think that is the level of quality that this team has, and I'm happy that Mikel Arteta is learning to trust the players that are starting every day. He's learning to trust the players that are always pushing outside the starting 11 to get a chance in the team. But let's talk about Eddie. And I think again, Eddie, towards during this period of time, when we went to the World Cup and came back, Gabriel Jesus was injured. Eddie had a role to play. He scored in his first game against it was West Ham. We won that game 3-1. Had a very he had a very good performance. I think with Eddie now, he's got to understand that he's now deputizing an injury-prone straw. The guy's legs are made out of straws. So you cannot rely on Gabriel Jesus. We can't rely on Gabriel Jesus, especially when it comes to availability, durability, and ability to be on the pitch, like consistency. You can't rely on him. You can rely on his hard work. You can rely on his finishing. You can rely on his creativity. You can rely on his pressing. But you cannot rely on him that he will be there. And for me, that inhibits and that actually, kills his chances of becoming one of the best players and strikers in the Premier League. You've got to be consistent. So Eddie is what we have. I mean, many of us will go, why not Kai? Why not Trossard as number 9? But Eddie is the striker we have, and Mikel Arteta loves him. He trusts him. All we've got to do is we've got to pray, can Eddie keep up these kind of numbers? Today, magnificent. Purely magnificent. Like, that is some way to score a hat-trick. That is some beautiful way to score a hat-trick. Easy and very, very effective. But I think with Eddie, the question for him is going to be, can he actually produce these numbers? Again, reproduce them and reproduce them. Can he produce them again? Can he actually consistently influence games for Arsenal? Like, when you play against Sheffield, they don't have a lot to offer. They don't have a lot to offer in terms of resistance. I know that. But listen, these are our next fixtures. Arsenal will play West Ham on Wednesday. That is in the that we are away from home in the EFL Cup quarterfinal. Then we will play Newcastle. That is away from home still. It will be Saturday. That is next Saturday. Then we will play Sevilla. Then we will play Burnley. So that means that the next games, you have a very, very difficult trip to West Ham, a difficult trip to the St. James, a kind of a difficult guest in Sevilla, and an easy one against Burnley. So can Eddie be the reliable guy? Can we rely on him? That answer should be coming in the next 4 games. If he can score against West Ham away from home, lead us to the semi-finals of the FA Cup, if he can lead us through to a win at the St. James Park, then he has developed. Then he has become much better, right? Because for me, what I've seen today is a much better Eddie, a much better striker. But again, he struggles with consistency, struggles to score goals on a regular basis. You cannot score a hat-trick and then go 3 games without scoring, and then you have a bad game. You've got to be consistent, and you've got to provide the numbers. You've got to provide the numbers, consistently. And I think it's kind of the highlight of the game. It was the highlight of the game. It's one of the games where we played, and Declan Rice is not in the spotlight. Raya is not in the spotlight, but Eddie was in the spotlight. The other player that I thought was in the spotlight by the today was Jakub Kiwior. Kiwior played a very, very, very good game. I love his long balls. He's got the accuracy, he's got the vision, he's got the ability to play that long ball, which is actually fantastic. But then, defensively astute. Defensively, he was very good. His communication between him and Saliba was good. You could see that both of them actually complement each other. If we don't lose Saliba, no one stops us at the moment. If we don't lose William Saliba. And we also, if we can reduce the number of games we are drawing both home and away. right? We've already drawn 3 games this campaign. If we can increase the number of, the number of wins, reduce the number of draws, losses, we have none, so we're doing very well. I think it's just a perfect weekend. Perfect weekend, 5-0. Man United play Man City, so one of them will drop points. Shoredale and Chelsea have lost as well. So it means that, apart from Spurs above us, and maybe Liverpool below us, who will definitely win against Nottingham Forest, the weekend is still absolutely very, very fine.